Hi guys, in this Rocket Cake tutorial we will speak about styled buttons. In the toolset on the right side, let's grab the styled button and let's try to drop it. Now instead of a button being dropped on the work area, we have quite a few styled buttons here. Now let's choose two of them. One from the beginning, one from the end. Here we are. Now on the left side here we have the buttons properties, and actually using these is quite easy to make from any button to the other button. So let's make from this button. Okay. First of all, this has a shadow, so let's right click on it. Box shadow, it's enabled, let's disable it. Alright. Now this one has a color background, this one has a gradient background, so let's make this gradient. Gradient begins with this color here, so let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Gradient ends with this color, we can check it here. Yeah. So let's copy this. Let's paste it here. We are getting an error. Now this has no border and this has a solid border. So let's give this a solid border. Okay, the border color is this. It's this. Now this one has a round corners with a border radius of 5. This one has round corners defined for all 4 corners. Let's do the same. Round defined for all 4 corners. Now this one has the top left and the bottom right. The corner radius is 15 and the top right and the bottom left is 0, so let's do the same. There we are. There is one more difference. This one's text is white, so let's make the text white here too. Okay. Now let me say a few words about trending. Let's take a few buttons from here. Okay, we have the first 6. Let's separate them. Alright, so we are in the year 2020. So what's trendy or not trendy among buttons? Of course, there can be always exceptions. There are differences in personal tastes. What I say is just general recommendations that you may or may not want to follow. It's really up to you. Okay, this button has a shadow, and I would say that today it is not trendy. This one also has a shadow. I say no to this also. I say this is okay, we'll come back to this. Now this one has the background of it is a styled button background, and it doesn't do very good to the readability of the text, and personally I don't think that this is trendy either. I would say that this is okay, and I basically say this is okay. So nowadays trendy elements on websites are clean, 2D, easy to read, easy to recognize stuff. Let's work a little bit with this one. Let's make the text bold so it's easier to read. Let's give it a blue color, as links are usually thought about as blue stuff. Let's make its color invisible. Let's make the border also blue. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. The height should be 50. The text 13, a little bit bigger. Roundness 25. And I would say that this is a modern, up-to-date button, in my opinion. Let's see this one here. Let's make the text bold, 13. Height 46. Background color blue. Okay. I would say that this button is also okay. When we come here, let's just copy and paste this and make the corners angular. I would say this is also okay. Of course, you can use your own colors, you can play around with these. I would say that these buttons look modern and up-to-date. Now let's talk a little about gradient backgrounds. Okay, let's see this button. I would say gradient backgrounds can be okay, but just like here, the difference between the beginning color and the ending color should be little. Just like here, one green from one green to another green. The direction can be vertical or horizontal. But the point here is that the difference should not be big. I make it bigger so we can see it better. So what we should not do is like starting from red and finishing, green or yellow, This may be good in some cases, it can be playful, but often, the gradient as one color goes into the other may not be so nice, and it may hurt the readability. In general, I would say we should use one color and a similar color. I would say this can also be good. It can be good with the border or without a border. But the point is that the difference between the beginning color and the ending color should be small. I just want to say one more thing about buttons, and that is that we can use hover styles. So let's bring here a button. Links are often thought about in terms of blue color, so let's have this button. And let's use a hover style. Let the text remain white, and let's let the fill be, let's say, this bright green. Let's preview it. Yeah, this may be too bright. This may be better. Okay, so hover is a good thing with buttons. Now we can give it a border. We can give it a solid border. It can be dotted. I don't think this is trendy. It can be dashed. I don't think this is trendy either. They may be good depending on other parts and colors of the website, but in general I would, if I use a border, I would use solid. And this is blue, so let's make it dark blue. Okay. Now that we have a border, here we also have a border. So, well, let's make this one bright. Alright. Interesting. And we can change the text color also. Preview. Yeah. So that was it about buttons. Very basic, very simple. I hope you liked this little tutorial. Have a nice day. Be in good health. God bless you. Bye bye.